So in Buddhism, what we need to examine is this. We believe in a higher power. We believe in the blessings of Buddhas. We believe in the holy Dharma protectors such as Benden Lhamo, Setrat Mahakala. But that one is all outer. The real Dharma is here. You see, people always talk about Dharma protectors, which one is good, which one is bad. They always talk about which lineage is good. It's a waste of time. People who talk about that, it's a waste of time. It shows you how much they don't know Dharma. Do you think in the monasteries, the monks discuss that? Do you think the High Lamas and students discuss that? Do you think the High Lamas discuss that with each other? They don't. They discuss the mind. They discuss how to overcome the mind. They discuss meditation. They don't talk about protectors and lamas and lineage, who's good, who's bad. They don't talk about that. Why? Very small issue. Waste of time issue. It's like old ladies get together and talk about who's wearing what color hat. What High Lamas and Dharma practitioners and Buddhists get together to talk about is the mind and transforming the mind, not to increase gossip, not to increase negative talk. Why? If you increase it or you help people to increase it, it's very bad. If you have knowledge, you must cut their talk. You must cut their talk by say, shut up. No, wisdom. And you must be firm. So what we need to talk about is like what we talk about in the monasteries. Mind. Mind. I've studied so much. I bring it down to you in your language with your own language. So, I'm not a scholar, but I certainly know enough to explain things to you. I'm not a geshe. I'm not proud. I'm not proud. To me, when I die in a few years, doesn't matter if I'm a geshe or not. But if I had affected people's minds and the teachings continue, then I've died well. That's more important to me. I don't care if people think I'm a monk or I'm not a monk. I am. I don't care if people think what I dress and not dress. I don't care. I was born as a Rinpoche. That is what I'm born in from my previous lives, recognized by the High Lamas. I didn't say, oh, you recognize me. That's what they recognize me. So when people criticize me and say things about me, they also criticize the Lamas. They criticize their masters. They criticize those great masters who have recognized this person. It's very dangerous. It's indirect. You're a bad son. You're so selfish. You're so bad. It reflects your mother. Your mother didn't teach you or raise you well. Same. So when you criticize the teachers and lamas, you criticize their lamas. You criticize their lamas and their lamas. You criticize their lineage. Very dangerous karma. Very dangerous. That word makes you block your mind from listening to the Dharma. We shouldn't. We like, we don't like, leave it. We like, we listen, we don't like, don't listen now. Never criticize. And some people today even talk about, big issues like, do they like the Dalai Lama? Do they not like the Dalai Lama? How can anybody not like the Dalai Lama? We're supposed to have compassion for a spirit, a ghost. We're supposed to have compassion for an evil force. In Buddhism, there's no magic or rituals to destroy evil. There are rituals to subdue them and bring them to the Dharma or to calm them down by compassion. So if we have to be very kind to a spirit, of course we have to be very kind to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, but that word is wrong. How can anyone be against a holy monk like that? Cannot. Whether he's your guru or no guru, who cares? He's a holy monk, the end. The end. So even people dare talk about that these days. Who has faith in Dalai Lama? Who doesn't have faith in Dalai Lama? Who likes Dalai Lama? Who doesn't? Oh dear. Stupid lay people with no knowledge and no study, too much time, too much money, fat, dumb, and happy, just talking about the Lamas, talking about the Rinpoches. The Rinpoches for many lifetimes have emanated again and again to benefit others. When you criticize them, you criticize their whole lineage. You criticize the people that recognize them. You criticize the very people who put them on the throne. You criticize the whole institution. They cannot sit in an institution such as Ganden on a throne in front of many hundreds of monks and to be recognized and to be whatever. That means every monk and every lama, every geshe, every rinpoche, and every abbot is wrong. My. Bunch of silly lay people running around saying, who has faith, who doesn't have faith, whose lineage is pure, whose lineage is not pure, who's practicing this, who's practicing that. My. I pray to the Buddha. I follow the Dharma and I respect the Sangha. The end. The end. Whatever else I practice or don't practice, none of your business. Why is it none of your business? If you're higher than me, you can see when I'm practicing, you got clairvoyance what? So you don't need to talk, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, you're stupid. You didn't practice. That's why you don't have clairvoyance. So you don't see nothing, blah, 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 blah. Then you become more stupid. You look like a duck, blah, 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 blah. Oh, chicken. If you're higher than me, you got clairvoyance. You can see when I'm practicing. You don't need to introspect and check and look and talk and gossip because you have clairvoyance. Since you don't, stupid. Then some people say, hey, I better check this guru out, see what they practice, how they practice, so I can see if they're qualified or not. Oh, you're so qualified, is it? You are so qualified to check out your guru and all the guru. You're so high. Who put you on the throne, dearie? Oops. Simple. It's simple logic. And I love every single Buddhist monk on this planet. Whether they follow my lineage or not, I don't care. Oh, he's not Tibetan Buddhist, he's a Thai monk. Oh, no, cannot. Oh, he's a Nyingma monk. No, cannot. Oh, he's a Gelugpa monk, but what side? The dark gray yellow Gelugpa or the bright yellow one? Which side? In between, you take your guess. I don't take any sides. I follow the Buddha. I follow the Dharma. And I respect the Sangha. Because I take refuge and I respect the Sangha, I don't criticize any person who wear any robes. Never. Then some lay people have the nerve to criticize monks. Hello! You're sitting around, making money, doing your studies, playing on a computer, going out clubbing, having orgies, hanging out at the zoo because you're reincarnated from there. You know nothing about the monk vows. You know nothing about monk rules. You've not given your life and given yourself to meditation or practice ever. And then you can some more criticize the monks when you know nothing about their vows. You've studied not the Vinaya Sutra. You know nothing about their practice. Nothing about the holy Ganden lineage of Lama Tsongkhapa. You know nothing. Some of you never even been to Ganden. Sorry, I'm spitting. I'm getting passionate. I always spit when I'm excited. Then they can criticize the monk. They know nothing about monk vows. They know nothing about the monk rules and monk procedures. They have not dedicated, they have not shaved their hair. They have not hang out in gurus. They have not hang out in Mon God with the cockroaches. They have not hanged out anywhere. I've been living in Dharma centers for the last 30 years. I ran away from home when I was 15, and I slept on the streets, and I walked from New Jersey to Los Angeles with my Dharma bag full of books and this side my clothes. That's it. And I slept outside and I begged for food. Why? Because at home I'm not allowed to practice Dharma, so I left home. You don't do that here. That's American. Here you respect your parents. They're very kind. Over there, I left. I walked across the United States and I hitchhiked all the way. I was jailed. I was put in jail. I was beaten. I had crimes committed on me. I'll talk about another day. I had a lot of problems. Crimes that might excite some people, so I don't want to talk about it right now. So how can lay people anywhere criticize monks? It's a big no-no. Once you take refuge, you say, I'm a Buddhist, you cannot criticize monks. That's one of your vows. You cannot criticize anyone in robes. Whether they're in robes or not in robes is not for you to judge. You don't know their rules. You don't know what's allowed. And you don't judge one monk tradition of one country with another monk tradition. In Tibet, it's different because of situation, social, backing, and climate, environment, it's very different. So you don't take one rule of one country and apply it to another and then start judging. Very bad. Thailand, Japanese, Chinese, Tibetan, Korean, Mongolian, they're all beautiful individual Buddhist countries that have their beautiful Sangha community and their rules. You cannot compare. You cannot. Why can't you compare? Everything's different. Then here, you don't have a Malaysian Sangha. Some are Mahayana monks, some are Thai monks, some are Tibetan monks. You don't have a Malaysian Sangha. You don't have nothing, no platform to even compare yet. So we can't criticize monks. When someone starts criticizing monks, you have to tell them very nicely, please don't. You have your vows, or you're a Buddhist. Well, I didn't take my vows. Well, it doesn't give you the right to criticize people who have. What do you know their vows are? When His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama left Tibet, he wore a soldier's outfit with a gun. He broke his monk vows? No, he didn't want to get detected and killed. How long can a monk grow his hair? Do you know the rules? Do you know in what condition they can grow their hair? Do you know? Do you know? Or you don't know, you simply talk. Do you know how long they can grow their hair and under what condition? Do you know why? Do you know when a monk can wear lay clothes and not wear lay clothes? And why? Do you know why? Do you know what are the monks' vows? Do you know how many vows they have? Do you know what is the primary vows that's very strict, and the other ones that with time you have to break? Not really break, bend. Do you know? Do you know there are some places in the world that monks can't go in their robes? They can get killed or abused. So what do you want them to get killed? Abused? Very ignorant. Don't criticize the monks. Don't compare one tradition with another. Hold your refuge vows. You don't have refuge vows, respect people with vows. Criticizing people with vows is very dangerous. If you can't respect even monks, there's nothing left. Do you study as hard? Do you hold your vows? Do you dedicate yourself to the monastery? Do you hold all your precepts and your vows? Do you? Or do you have a good time and criticize people who do? Do you go serve your lamas? Do you go work in the fields for the monastery? Do you attend the pujas every day? Do you do your studies? Do you do your retreats? Do you do any of that? You don't. Don't criticize those who do. Don't support them. Without them, Dharma cannot exist. That is a rule by Buddha. Don't. And then checking lineages. These days, there's a big thing about checking lineages. Whose lineage is correct, whose lineage is not correct. Who are you to judge? Who am I to judge? That's why I never make a comment about it. Never. Never. Very simple. In my center, in KH, we follow the traditions of Ganden, blessed by the traditions of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. The end. Anything else, I don't reject. I don't comment. It's not good, bad. And anybody who don't follow that, I don't say it's bad either. I have no right. I have no right. Once I start criticizing, I have to criticize everything that's not my lineage. Then everything's wrong. The Thais are wrong, the Burmese are wrong, the Cambodians are wrong, the Japanese monks are wrong, the Chinese monks are wrong. Everybody's wrong. Everybody's doing everything wrong then. It doesn't stop. So I don't want to waste my time. I follow my lineage. I do my practice. You want to do something else? It's good, it's bad? I don't know. But I don't care. Why don't I care? I don't have time. But if you follow my lineage, you will follow what we teach in Ganden. And there's nothing wrong with Ganden. Sarah, Drepung, Tashi Longpo, everything came from Ganden. Everything. Ganden is the mother. Everything. My abbots know what I'm doing. My abbots endorse me. I can't break any rules. I go back and see them. I send them letters. I have monks come and visit me. I have Rinpoches come and visit me. My friends from Ganden, they go back and give reports to the abbot. Am I afraid of the abbot? No. I have nothing to be afraid of because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not in Tibet. I can't teach and act and wear and dress and be as I'm in Tibet. There's different situations, very different. I'm in Malaysia. So it's very, very important. We don't criticize teachers, we don't criticize lineage, and we don't be judged. Whatever the Dalai Lama says is correct, the end. But there are two sides of a coin. He may say white at this time, and another time he can say black. Another time he say white, another time he say black. It depends on the time and the place. For some countries he go to, he say, hey, practice Tara. But then he goes to another country, he says, no, you practice Avalokiteshvara. Then is he lying? Is he wrong? No. It's the place and time and people. Cannot. And there are many people out there. Many people. There are many people out there who don't believe in the Holiness of the Dalai Lama. Because they're bad, because they're wrong? No. They have their own lineage. They have their own practice. They have all their own traditions. Let them practice in peace and pray, help, donate, and send your energy to them to grow. All forms of Buddhism must grow. In the end, we believe in Buddha. And very simple. So what is that? When we criticize lineage and we criticize this and this, it is our mind projecting onto others again. Why is that? Why is it we cannot avert criticism or stop criticism? Because we don't have enough knowledge to stop criticism. If other people talk, we don't have enough knowledge. So we make up things to cover. We make up things to say things to make them respect us. Why do we criticize lamas? How can we criticize a lama? How can we criticize a tulku? Tulku in Tibetan means emanated body, one who can emanate back again and again, whether by prayers or consciously. They come back to teach. They come back to help. Check their actions. What do they do? How do they act? What do they do 24 hours a day? What have they been doing for the last 30 years? What have you been doing for the last 20, 30 years? Then you can check if they're tulku now. Very simple. We cannot criticize. I'm not telling you not to. I'm telling you why you shouldn't. I don't. Never. 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 Respect all teachers, whether we feel they are right or wrong, or other people feel they're right or wrong. Respect all Sangha. We are not in robes. We don't have their vows. It's very heavy karma. Respect all lineages, Tibetan and non-Tibetan. And within Tibetan, all the lineages, respect. We're not in a position to criticize. And don't encourage and entertain negative talks of what is politically correct and not politically correct. Why is that? We're here to practice Dharma. Let's learn Dharma. We're here to learn about the Four Noble Truths, the Three Principal Paths, the Holy Graded Path to Enlightenment, Lam Rim. We're here to learn about the Four Preliminary Practices. We're here to learn about refuge. We're here to find our Yidam. We're here to find our Yidam within ourselves. We're here to find our teacher who can convey the Dharma to us. Who's our teacher? It says in this book, who's? Someone who can help you find yourself. Gyawan Drukchen Rinpoche. Gyawan Drukchen Rinpoche says here in this book, your real guru is not someone who sits on a high throne or has a big title or don't have a big title. Your guru is the one who helps you to find yourself. So do you have a guru that's nearby teaching you, taking the time, tirelessly teaching you, endlessly and patiently, again, teaching you and sharing with you and helping you and instructing you again and again? Then you criticize this person, you criticize all your hopes for enlightenment. Why is that? This person gets nothing from you. Nothing. In fact, some of you give harm back to the person, yet they tirelessly teach you and help you. Against criticism, against people saying negative things, against obstacles. So many obstacles. So many. Other religions criticize. Our own religious people criticize. Other lineages criticize. People within the center criticize. So much. But these people, these lamas never give up. They continuously teach and help. So what is that? Definitely they're different than us. Definitely they're different than us because we give up. The minute someone criticizes, say bye-bye. But they don't. That is a tuku. One who comes back to teach again and again and again. Of course, there are different levels of tukus, but then again, if we're not higher than them, how can we tell what level they are? Very simple. If you don't know what they are, you don't know what they're doing, A, you didn't study, B, you don't have the attainments. So if you don't have the knowledge or the attainments and you criticize, when you criticize a person who may have the attainments or who is achieving those attainments, you create the karma not to ever get those attainments ever in this life. Why? Some gurus are revered by hundreds of people. They take them as their refuge, they believe. When you criticize their guru, you break everybody's faith. They go away from Dharma. You created that, not the guru. You created that. You created that. You accept the karma of every person that go away from the guru. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. The karma is very dangerous. So when you do that, you will create the karma. You will not have harmony in your life ever. That when you hear religious Dharma, when you hear real Dharma, you cannot accept. And if you accept, you cannot practice. If you practice, you cannot finish. Definitely cannot. Why? Because you create that karma for others to go away. So why is it that if we make offerings to the Buddha, if we make offerings to the Buddhas, we collect merit, but if we criticize, we don't collect demerit? Why? Why is it a lama, a high lama in Ganden, they put them on a throne, the monks make offerings to the lamas. Lamas is not monks. Lamas in Tibetan tradition means a reincarnated teacher. Lama refers to Tuku or Rinpoche. Lamas is not referred to monks. Lamaism is all wrong words. Nobody speaks my language here. Okay, maybe we got one clown there that speaks one or two words. No, Lama refers to Rinpoches or Tukus, reincarnated beings or teachers, your teacher. So, when you criticize another person's teacher, what's the pain you create in their minds? What's the pain? Even if their teacher is wrong, inverted commas, but they're still getting some benefit, it's still transforming their mind. Still. So it's very, very important that we practice abstinence. Abstinence of encouraging, abstinence of negative speech towards the holy Dharma, its teachers, its monks, its Sangha, and its lineages. It's very important we practice that. Do you know why? We don't want to create more toward religious turbulence. We're destroying our own religion. We're destroying our own Buddhism from inside. This cannot, that cannot, that cannot, this cannot, that cannot. We destroy it from the inside. Then we say we're Buddhists. We say we like Dharma. No. We're destroying Dharma from the inside, not from the outside. We don't have any enemies. Malaysia is a beautiful country. It encourages multi-pluralistic existence. All religions. What a beautiful society. Malaysia doesn't destroy it. We destroy it by our mouth. And our mouth is an extension of our lack of knowledge, is our lack of study, lack of understanding, lack of contemplation, lack of attainments. So if you criticize others, two things. A is you don't have attainments. B, you didn't study. Because high lamas in Ganden, I don't hear them criticizing, ever. Ever. So I usually follow their example. I don't follow normal people's example. I don't hear Kabji Lati Rimchi. I don't hear His Eminence Kabji Song Rimchi. I don't hear His Holiness Trijan Dorji Chang, anything in their teachings, or Lama Yeshi, anybody criticizing others. Never. Not even other religions. Never. So that's the example I follow. Do you know why? When I die, you won't go with me. Me and my karma will go with me. So if someone seems to be a high lama, benefiting many beings, and I criticize, that karma will go with me. Very dangerous. Why is that very dangerous? How does it help us? How does it help your practice? How? How does it help your own practice? So it doesn't help your own practice. We have to think carefully. What do we have to think? Is it beneficial to continue this action? No. No. In my center, with my students and my friends and people who are associated with me, I encourage them to respect all religions. Always. Never criticize. Never. Even if there's something there you see is wrong, keep quiet. Why? You don't know. I encourage my people and my center to always respect other forms of Buddhism, other lineages. Even lineages that we don't feel comfortable with, or we're happy with, or it's politically incorrect, I don't criticize. Why don't I criticize? I'm a Dharma teacher, not a teacher of politics. I don't teach politics. And on top of that, in my Dharma center, I follow the holy lineage of Ganden, and I will not do any other lineage. And I'll tell you why. I don't know any other lineage. I joined Ganden. I've been with Ganden teachers my whole life. I've been studying the Ganden tradition since I was 8 or 9. I don't know any other traditions. I can't teach you what I don't know. Doesn't mean the other lineages are wrong. No, no, no. That's one. And I follow the lineage of Ganden. Do you know why? If it's good enough for the high lamas of Ganden and the monks, and it was instituted by Lama Tsongkhapa 600 years ago, I think it'll be good enough for us clowns. For me, clown, and you, clown, it'll be very good. If the holy monks of Ganden can follow, clowns like me, no problem. And whatever His Holiness says is correct. I'll tell you why. I don't look deeper. I don't examine deeper, he's correct or not correct. I'll tell you why. He works very hard. He works very, very hard. He holds his vows purely. He single-handedly brings Buddhism to the world. Single-handedly. Without His Holiness the Dalai Lama, much Dharma cannot grow in this world. And whatever he says, whether in our eyes, in our ears, sometimes sound negative or right or wrong, we shouldn't judge. He has his reasons. It is said during his previous incarnations as the king Sonzen Gampo, during the Dalai Lama's previous incarnation as the king Sonzen Gampo in Tibet, you can look it up, Sonzen Gampo. Tibet was not unified. So therefore, there was a lot of fighting and factionalism. In order to bring Dharma in, he had to unify the country. So you know what His Holiness did? He emanated an army. And he emanated factions and enemies. And for the populace and for the people and the villagers and the different factions in Tibet to see this, and they fought with each other. And he led the forces, and he fought with them, and he killed them, and he destroyed them. And when he was done with these people, he emanated them back. Why? To subdue them with war. Because Tibetans before that were warlike. So they respected Sonzen Gampo for his generalship. They respected him for his power, and they respected him for his command. Because of that, he unified Tibet. And in his future incarnations, he came back as High Lamas to teach the Dharma. Why? He needs to bring people to study Dharma, then he taught the Dharma afterwards. That's why in Sonzen Gampo, if you look in Potala, they have a statue of him in Tibet. He's always there with his two wives, a Nepalese and Chinese wife, Wencheng. He brought the Joel Rinpoche. The Chinese wife brought the Joel Rinpoche to Tibet, the most famous statue. The Nepalese wife bought the other statue that had encased in Tibet, two very holy ones. He's always pictured there with his two wives and an Amitabha coming out of his head. He has a turban with an Amitabha. His name is Gyalpo Sonzen Gampo, and he is considered a previous emanation of His Holiness. Why? Bodhisattvas don't kill. They don't harm. But they may say things or do things or emanate things to make it look like that, to subdue our minds for that time and place. So when everybody was killed, he became king. He dissolved them back. So these days, whatever His Holiness says, whatever he does, it may look this way or that way, this way, that way. Don't doubt. Don't criticize. Leave it. Everything will be dissolved back. Everything. That's what I believe. That's what the monks believe. You see, I don't think of him as some spiritual, as some religious, a political leader, all that stuff like that. I'm not concerned with politics. I respect him very, very much because he's a great monk. A great monk. Who's a Mahapandita, the greatest scholar on this planet of Buddhism. I biasly believe the greatest scholar. And in our center, every single day when we finish our prayers, we do a dedication, it starts like that, to dedicate our merits to the long life of His Holiness every single time we meet. Why is that? He works so hard. We can't help him. We don't give him any money. We don't give him anything. We don't do anything. So we might as well send our prayers and energy to him. So some people say we can't send energy and prayers to him. Why not? I can send my energy and prayers to anybody I want. Why? I don't have energy and prayers. I invoke the Buddhas. Why did the Buddhas listen to me? A clown, a nobody, a stupid? Because they have compassion. You think the Buddhas listen to you because you're a dato? You think the Buddhas listen to you because you teach acting? You think Buddhas listen to you because you have a long tongue? Buddhas listen to anybody who invoke upon their compassion, because the Buddha, from the side of a sinner and the side of a goody-goody, is the same. Their compassion is the same. So if you're a goody-goody, you don't listen to music, you don't listen to rock music, you don't wear any revealing clothes and show your cleavage, and you're very clean, you only talk nice things, you eat grains and whole wheat vegetables, you don't eat meat, you don't pollute the earth, you don't pee outside, you don't use any chemicals, and you're really a goody-goody, wonderful, lovey-dovey, holy schmoly person with halo. The Buddha loves you. And if you're like me, obnoxious, loud, rude, unconventional, non-conservative, love people who lick people, the Buddha loves me the same as other people. He loves me just as much as he loved the holy smoly people. Do you know why? If he didn't, he's not a Buddha. So isn't that the example we should look at? To follow the Buddha's mind, not other people's mind. You see, when we listen to Dharma teachings, how our mind changes, how we get knowledge. You know why? I give you a basis, and I give you logic, not superstition. I don't give you stories. I give you logic and basis. So when you leave my Dharma talks, you go out there less stupid. That's right, less stupid. Just like me, every time I leave a Dharma talk, I'm less stupid. It's okay. I don't mind admitting I'm stupid. I don't mind at all. I'm not a Buddha. I'm not a Buddha. I'm not a Buddha. Okay, expose. I'm not a Buddha. Put it in Singju newspaper or whatever it is. I'm not. Tenrinji says he's not a Buddha. 99% out there say, we knew that. 1% say, oh no, really? And you'll be like, oh, really, you're not a Buddha?